Welcome to the new year, everybody. Shalom, Rainicorns. Hey, it's Ellie, the Empress here. So with me, so with me, so with me, while we discuss my exit and potentially your exit from social media for 2025, I'll go ahead and be completely transparent and honest. One of my main motivations for not being on social media next year is because of the election. Um, I was going to leave social media regardless of the results. However, I'm already seeing it. Man, who calling me? Hey, hold on. I'm on live right now. You want to sit in or call me later?
Huh?
You want to sit in and like just watch me on the video? Or you want to call me later?
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying to get your volume down because I don't want, you know.
I can read myself.
Okay. Where'd my needle go? No, that's not safe.
It's funny being productive right now too. I literally was because I'm gonna do my calendar and I'm like, oh, let me call Ellie and do my calendar at the same time.
That's real friendship. No.
Look, look what our son did.
What the heck? What is that?
Chewed up my color pencil.
No, bro. No, because I just drew another picture. I'm gonna show you after I get done with this. I'm gonna show you. But this is not safe because I just dropped my needle. I swear. Hold on, you guys. This is the type of stuff that I do on a regular basis. Y'all just hold on. I'm looking for my needle because I already got the thread out and I don't need to sit on a needle. This is so not safe. Oh my gosh. Okay, what I'm gonna do for the sake of time and y'all not just watching me silently panic to find this needle, I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing. And find my needle afterward. This is just not cute. Not cute. Ugh. But yeah, so this is a prime example of why I'm leaving social media. You need to have productive people and productive friends in your life that have nothing to do with your social media presence. Because a lot of y'all be having social media friends and then niggas be fake and they be making y'all make weird decisions. And I'm not gonna get, well, I am, because fuck it. I was gonna say I'm not gonna get too deep into detail about certain things, but I am. That's actually cap. That's my bad for almost capping to y'all. I'm nervous because I don't want my ass to be pricked. Okay, so a lot of social media, quote unquote, friends will have folks making weird decisions for whether it's for clout or just because they don't like somebody. And I got a prime example of it, but I'm gonna save that for another time. I was talking about the election, but I'm glad that this all happened at the same time because recently I drew a couple of pictures. I think I'll show y'all some pictures. And I got really excited because I literally just drew another picture. And me and the goddess I'm on the phone right now, we were coloring pictures together a little while ago. And I just colored another picture. So it's like a lot. You need friends that you can actually do tasks with that are beneficial for you or just embrace your creativity in a productive way. I need my scissors. And social media just ain't doing it for a lot of people. It's really become a crutch for, like, a lot of people think that posting on social media is productive and it's become an illusion. Stop falling, phone. You're being weird. It's become an illusion and people just haven't seen it yet. So let me get back to the election. I'm already seeing it where it's like I already knew that it was gonna be chaos. A lot of us knew it was gonna be chaos, regardless of which side won. Okay, because it wasn't about a candidate; it was about a side and what people have certain beliefs in. And I'm gonna say it like this: I'm glad that the results are as they are because it really showed a lot. It showed a lot. I'm gonna say this: Black people in America knew it was a slim chance for a colored person to become president again in such a short period of time. Like, as progressive as we like to pretend that this country is, we know what we know. And the majority of us simply don't live in the reality of whether it's feeling like the scales are balanced or that people are ready for certain types of changes. And also the emphasis on things that are shared as priorities. Priorities are just out of order. Considering the fact that, I'll say, the left was trying to prioritize so many things that would not actually make a difference or have been constant lies, whether someone from the left was in office or not. It's like the American people just did not take that into consideration to the fullest extent. Of course, people didn't want who won to win. At the same time, trying to prevent, like, this is how spirituality and manifestation works. Saying stuff like, oh, we don't want him to win, that's what made him win. Instead of saying we want her to win and constantly having that narrative, because even before, people didn't even pay attention to it. At first, it was two men running against each other, two white men. Then it became one colored woman and one white man. In a matter of months, that individual was supposed to, quote unquote, beat a power that already won before, already had a reputation for being president, and didn't have a full campaign time period. Like, what type of reality was everybody living in? Thinking, oh my gosh, this is the change we needed. No, it's not. No, it's not. You want to know how I know that? Look at what's happened. After that situation, because like the build up period up until the election, it was all this fake unity, all this fake love, all this fake stuff that people were showing to black people, especially black women, including black women to other black women. This relationship I have right here had nothing to do with a presidential election. This is something that happened through chance and through spirituality on a deep level. Y'all wouldn't even get it if I explained it to you right now. So, seeing everybody be performative activists, and it's not to say that people didn't actually want her to win. It's just the reasons behind it. People wanted to prove something. Even in that reading that we did, where I spoke on it and I did the reading, a lot of people bet. People gambled on this election. This was not how this was supposed to go. And that's the reason. Like, people want to say whatever, this and that is the reason behind this or that. No. People did not have good intentions. They just wanted bragging and boasting rights. That's all. No actual changes being made, because even the changes that always get promised to be made, it's a script. It's something that's required to be said. So, like I mentioned before, plenty of things have already been done under the administration of having a colored vice president. Why can't we still have the credit of a colored woman vice president? Like, y'all don't even want to give credit for that. We didn't even give credit for a colored first lady. Having a black first lady wasn't even emphasized as much as it really should have. Other than like Eleanor Roosevelt. Let me see, who else? Hillary Clinton. I'm trying to think, because it's going to prove my point. The fact that it's taken me so long to think is proving my point. Not many first ladies are involved with their husband's presidency. That's usually not how that goes. However, you remember strong figures like Eleanor Roosevelt, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama. They were always involved some way, somehow, ensuring that the American people had a feminine voice to hear. Will Wortman said, peace and hey, Ellie. What's good? What's good? So with that being said, it's like, if we don't even give the first ladies enough space, because it's like, people were trying to make a huge deal out of Melania Trump. Melania, she didn't really, she the only reason she's been made a big deal out of is because she's Donald Trump's wife. Nobody really like paid that much attention to the things that she was saying and talking about during the first Trump presidency. I'm just being real. I'm being honest. Speaking from a Generation Z perspective and the way media is, the way we learn history, and the way we do everything, it's Eleanor Roosevelt, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama. Those are the ones that we remember in history. Melania Trump's Melania Trump. She was Melania Trump before she was First Lady Trump. So, all the fake unity that black women had specifically, and all the fake love that people have for the black community just to campaign. And then once the campaign was over, everybody started showing their true colors. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. So y'all just proved that y'all were capping then. That this presidency wasn't going to work anyway then. Because if y'all acting like this because you lost, and a lot of people, I saw comments about it. It's like a lot of people on the left are no better than the people that they criticize on the right. Y'all had so much to say about people who were like, oh, well, this win was rigged, it was stolen, all this other stuff, calling them conspiracy theorists and saying whatever you wanted to say about them. And then a lot of people ended up saying the exact same thing about this election. And it's just like, the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. Am I saying, like, I am saying, yes, I am saying, I'm glad that the results happened the way that they did for this reason. So everybody's true colors could get exposed. Because a lot of people on the left like to act like they're on this high horse of believing that their morals are better than those on the right just because they believe in quote unquote freedom for all people and rights for all people and everyone having a voice and everything like that. Folks are capping. They are capping. They feel oppressed and they want to have a voice, but they don't want to make change. And that is the difference. Whether you agree with people on the right or not, at least they get tasks accomplished. At least they get their tasks accomplished. That's the part for me where I'm just like, okay, there are some things that the left does that are good to an extent. But if we're looking at the track record and longevity and things being consistent, the left makes just as many empty promises as the right does, if not more than the right. And that's a conversation that a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about. Because if you look at individuals on the left and their accolades that they have as an individual, it's like, well, this individual did so much for the left. They did so much. Okay, look at the whole party as a whole. Whether we're looking at an actual party or we're just looking at different organizations within the party. As a whole, is everybody standing on business? And be honest, not really. Because the fact that this election was lost and people started turning on each other so aggressively, like, how do we go from black women need to stick together and work together for this election? Yes. I'm doing a live stream and I'm on the phone. Black women need to stick together. We need to make sure we get this election won. We're finally getting the respect we deserve, all this and all that. How did everybody go from that to people beefing about this one girl who cooks? She cooks and she twerks a little bit in her kitchen. And then it became this discourse about that. Of course, that's not the only example. I'm just saying, how do we get from black women sticking together to now everyone's intimidated by like this, I think she's like 22-year-old, this 22-year-old girl who cooks and twerks in her kitchen. And everyone's talking bad about her because she don't even twerk. She just jiggle her booty cheeks a little bit. And then there's a whole discourse and people talking about she's ruining relationships. She's ruining relationships by posting on a screen that you and your partner have a choice to look at. Her making food making her sarcastic jokes. Because if people haven't picked up on the fact that Herne's cooking it with Kaya, if people haven't figured out the fact that it's really easy to make money from rage bait and get clout from rage bait, it's like if people haven't figured that out yet, it's just like, this is real sad. Like, y'all couldn't figure out that this was a joke, or she's not actually trying to take anybody's man. Like, her tagline is like, oh, you better cook for your man before I do. She got 1 million followers on TikTok. She got 1 million followers over there. You really think she finna be cooking for 1 million niggas? Like, what type of logic are people like? There was no reason to feel intimidated. There was no reason to bash that young lady for the content she was making. You watch it or you don't watch it. And if a dude in a relationship watches it and he over here playing games and being like, oh, I'm gonna go over there with her since you're not cooking, leave his ass or something. Or maybe that is your actual sign to learn how to cook, because why are you a woman and you don't know how to cook? You're gonna have children whether you're with a nigga or not anyway. Even if you don't have children, you need to learn how to cook for yourself anyway. So what is anybody even talking about? Like, what is this thing with not wanting to know how to cook for oneself? I don't get what this, like, I get some of the resistance, because it's like, you have to look at the cultural differences. White people don't really have this conversation. They're used to not cooking for themselves. A lot of them haven't had to cook for themselves for several generations. So it's like, oh, white people's food tastes bad. Because they had black people cooking for them for the longest time. Like, they just didn't cook. And when they did cook, okay, look. The ones who were wealthy enough had house servants, maids, and, of course, like, slaves. Before they were hired, they had slaves. The poor ones were so poor that they couldn't even buy good food. So they had to work either along the side of the slaves, or they had just poor ass food, and that's why they shit tastes bland. It's like, it's so simple, but people try to make these grandiose arguments about stuff that we should already know about. It's like, oh, well, why don't white people's food taste good? Culturally, they never have food that tasted good. Not for themselves. Like, if you go to Europe, you have to go to, like, Italy, and those are like dark-skinned black people. I mean, dark-skinned white people. Those are the black people of the whites. And then you got like French people. Let me see who else. There's a lot of black people in France too. So it's just like this whole concept of what it is to be black or be white and live in a certain country. It's just like, bro, though, a lot of people with a lot of soul are Irish people, but they food still tastes the way it does. So when you're talking about American people, you got immigrants from different parts of Europe, and they food tastes nasty. It just is what it is. So then they hire black people to be their private chefs, their maids, and their housekeepers. I don't get why everybody's so confused about all this stuff. And then you got black people, they be like, oh, well, I'm not cooking for a man. No, okay. Like, okay, if that's what you want to go through life repeating to yourself, fine. That's fine. You still have to cook for yourself. You still have to cook for your children if you have them. And then people want to get upset about how the holidays aren't the same and all this and all of that. It's because y'all don't want to do the stuff that people used to do. Even the non-toxic things of cooking food together and having like potlucks. Now people be poisoning food. You can't trust potlucks as much anymore. It's like the jokes of people not being able to cook don't even apply. We over here, we spiritual. We know people be putting spells and casting spells. It's like, bro, where are the good kitchen witches at? Cause damn, all the recipes done gone out the drain. Can't trust nobody. It's annoying having to be this cautious all the time. And I'm an individual who was a victim of gang stalking for a period of time. They still trying it, but it's different now since I'm aware. But just seeing that happen with the election alone, and then seeing discourse about stuff that doesn't make any sense concerning black women specifically. There was a whole lot of things that happened with black women beefing after the election. And I'm like, this the reason we didn't win. We couldn't even lose properly. Because people made it not about Kamala Harris. They made it about black women being in power. That was the narrative. That was what people made it about. I'm not lying. That was what people made it about. And that's why they lost. Because they weren't ready. Because how are you going to turn on each other right after the... Who is to say that if she would have won, right? Because fate is fate. Who's to say that if she would have won, the same type of discourse wouldn't still happen? What we look like winning, being in power, and then still acting crazy with each other. That's what I mean. It's not about, oh, I'm a trumpet and I wanted him to win because I believe in this and I believe in that. I really just knew that people were not going to use the situation properly. Regardless, because y'all see even what's happening with the right. Y'all see what's happening with them. So I'm not saying, it's like the whole concept of lesser of two evils. Here you go. And people think it's funny, but it's like that still the country's being affected by the decisions being made. But it's the constant jokes about what's happening. Okay. Lynn said, I think she 23. You not lying. Facts, man. Facts. I'm just like, that situation alone, I knew 2 years ago. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Okay. I'm sewing up a couple of holes in a blanket. So I got these stitches right here. Now it's a blanket. It's not article of clothing. So I'm not being too precise with my stitches. But yeah, this is what it is right here. Okay. I really need a new blanket. But I had did this stitch a little while ago. Yeah. So yeah, that's one. The election. And then seeing the aftermath of how people were behaving afterward. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly why she didn't win. That's exactly why. Because just like that whole concept of, oh, the electoral party or the electoral college versus the popular vote, all this stuff. When it said, cool, gratitude. Because when Hillary Clinton won the presidency, the electoral college picked Donald Trump. So Hillary Clinton, we were going to have, based on the people of the country, we were going to have a female president back in 2016. But the Electoral College decided not to. This time, nobody chose. Kamala Harris did not win the popular vote, nor the Electoral College vote. So as a collective, the people were not receptive to that. And it just is what it is. And then seeing the aftermath, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. And so my next point, so I'll go ahead and get into socializing like with people and stuff. My next points with leaving social media is friendships. Now, I've always had interesting friendships because it's like being in school and growing up in church. Like, I grew up in church. It was like we going to church at least twice a week sort of situation. So I was always around my church family. I was around my church family more than I was around my blood family members, because I didn't go to a family church. I went to someone else's family church, but it was still part of the Kojic organization, which is a cult. And so it's like more people are coming to the realization that, like, oh wow, this is a cult. Like, we were being energy harvested and all type of stuff. Like, you listen to the prayers that a lot of the clergy makes, they're energy harvesting, and even when they pray against things, they're manifesting it. Like I said, oh, we don't want this person to win presidency, and then that person won presidency, instead of proper affirmations and manifestation techniques of praying for something. So I was always either having a person who I was viewing from a religious standpoint, or somebody who was white, because I went to a white school until I got into high school. And black people and white people operate very differently, so my friendships were always interesting when it came to that, just because our ways of life differ so much. So instead of it being like I wasn't popular, but I wasn't like, I hung out with the emo people, but I wasn't considered to be that 100%. I was the black girl. I was a black girl, because in a ratio, it was like 1 to 100 black people, 100 white people, one black person. That was literally the type of ratio. I'm probably under exaggerating or underestimating what it was truly. So because of that, the way that I view relationships differs from what a lot of other people who do this type of work that I do. A lot of us have differing perspectives on how this country is. Wynn said, I know she won popular vote back in 2016. Yeah, she did. She absolutely did. The people were ready. The people felt cheated back then, too. Okay. So with that, then I get into the I'll say the social media space, because I learned that it's really not ever smart to be friends with your business partners, because it's like, it's okay to start a business with your friends depending on, morals and values and stuff, but just keeping business and not trying to be friends with those people. There's like some people, it was like a weird situation I had where the person I was in business with, they were trying so hard to like be cool with me and the person I was in a relationship with, rather than just making money. It was like, I I digress. I'll probably talk about that on my other platform, because I don't know what would be wrong with people. I'd be like, yo. But anyway, getting into the social media space, people only wanting to be your friend for clout. And that's very strange to me, because the way I'm a Capricorn cusp, so the way that I maneuver with my platform, I'm making money. It just is what it is with that. I'm making some money. And I just got monetized, like, by actually being paid to post on the platforms this year. This is my first year being able to profit from my content. So, with me having that in mind years ago, I always had a certain mindset when it came to my platforms. I was always my most authentic self, but I always knew clout is just a number on the screen. It's just a number of followers of people who happen to follow the account. That, for me, I'm looking at how can I capitalize off of that in the future when I do have the opportunity to. There are people who don't think that way. And they think that clout means that they are important as a person. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. because I came to social media from the standpoint of being an entertainer. I'm looking at building my portfolio, showing my personality, and being inspirational in whatever ways I can, while also capitalizing where there's other people who literally just want people to pay attention to them on the internet. And there's no other end goal. That's it. That's the end goal. Get followers. So there are people who will befriend you if you're a social media content creator just for that. I didn't know that. And it's like, people will warn you and tell you that, but it's like you don't see it coming. That's the thing. Because it's like some people you can tell. It's like, oh, okay, well, they just want clout. They don't really want to be my friend. They just want to be around because I have a lot of followers, or they see that I'm probably going to go viral or have a lot of followers soon and stuff like that. And they'll just stick around and be cool with you for a period of time. And it's like you don't see it, but they're trying or are mooching off of you. And then once you see it, it's just like, dang, this person really was just around to have followers. Because we're not talking about scaling a business, we're not talking about assisting people. Because even with the spiritual community social media stuff, that was weird. Everybody comes across as if they're trying to do something and they have an actual mission that they're on, but they're capping, they're lying. I learned that a lot of people really do not have the intentions to do anything outside of make videos and make posts online. They don't plan to do anything other than that, even when they say otherwise. Because there are some people who are teachers and they're just meant to be teachers, and that's okay. It's okay to, if your role is being a teacher and being an inspiration, then that's okay. But the people who say things like we need to do this and that for the community, we need to build and all this other stuff, that's all they want to do, is say that we need to do it. Do they actually plan to put forth the legwork to do it? Absolutely not. I did not know that. And I don't have time for people to waste my time. Because it's like, oh, well, Ellie only doing this so she can get some money. Yeah, you need to raise capital to help the community, fucktard. I swear to God. This shit not free. This shit is not free. None of it. And y'all know that. That's the part that be blowing me. Yet, the presidential candidate was able to raise, what was that, $1 billion or something? I don't remember the actual figure, so don't quote me. But they passed $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken, within months. That's not regular. So black women were able to do all that in a short amount of time. Yet, when someone has an actual plan of action that can benefit really everyone in the entire country, people get quiet. People don't want to say anything. People even bash and talk bad about others. So now I'm finna get into my personal stuff, where it's like many of y'all are aware of certain things that happen. And I don't mention this man's name often, so when I do mention it, I'm gonna mention it for a reason, because it's like I'm so sick of this type of behavior. It's so annoying because it's like people are brainless. People are literally brainless at this point. They'll have a completely grammatically correct sentence, but say the most dumb shit you ever read. It's like, how are you using grammar and articulating yourself properly, but not making sense at the same time? It's so weird. So recently, there was a situation that happened with one of the younger guys in the spiritual community. Me and this person, we're supposed to like be cool or whatever. We've had phone conversations before, we've had video calls before, and I've given them advice at different periods of time to help them with what they're doing, and also to help them be able to expand in a more, not necessarily traditional way, but like in a way that they can also benefit from it, rather than, I don't know what they were doing, but it's like you don't really have a strategy for what you're doing, and you need to develop a strategy. You need to be able to capitalize in a way to be able to sustain yourself and be able to do the things that you say you want to do, which is help people, help the youth. So I was giving them tips on that at different periods of time. So recently, this individual, this isn't the first time it happened. They tried to quote unquote call me out on me and my platform, what I'm posting, when it doesn't make any sense. How are you going to call me out on what's going on my platform when I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do with my platform? You're not making any logical sense. And I would always tell him when I would talk to him, I'm like, you've been hanging out with them stupid people again. You've been hanging out with them niggas, and they got you out here making crazy decisions. And he would laugh and be like, oh man, you know, you right. I'm like, I know I'm right, because you wouldn't make a dumb decision like that on your own. You were built up and fed a certain narrative and thought pattern to feel confident enough to do some dumb shit like that. So because that happened before, I was like, you know, all is forgiven and I'm not tripping on it. But it happened a second time. I'm like, oh, well, it's fuck you now. I don't have time. I don't care about people who feel a reason to betray me multiple times. Because it's one thing to kind of just fall out with somebody and, you know, just stop talking to them for a little bit. But it's a whole nother situation to betray someone and talk down on an individual when they didn't do anything to you or even do the things that you're accusing them of. Okay, so I'm done. All right. It was like 3 spots that I had to sew up. It's like 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitch. And I got them. So, yep. All right. So that's finished. Jamari and Trell said, gone all year. I just found you, though. Go binge watch everything and get a membership. They only start at 99 cents, so you'll be able to get access to most of the material there. The goal in the beginning of my channel, binge watch everything. You'll know everything you need to know. I don't have anything else to say. That's what I'm going to close out with, but I really don't have anything else to say. So I personally do not have time to keep, like, people are used to toxic relationships and toxic friendships, and I don't do those. I'm an individual where I'm very okay with not being cool with somebody. I'm very okay with being by myself. I'm very okay with being in my solitude because I know how my energy is. So if an individual is going to go out of their way to disrespect me publicly twice, yes, fuck you. Because I don't, like, is we can have a little beef in between ourselves, because there isn't one. That's the thing. That's the thing. Me and that individual don't have a problem. We don't have a problem. There's nothing that they can say that I did to them, and they can be truthful and honest about it, to where it's like, oh, you hurt me. So, and if y'all are curious, it's King Sage. So if y'all have seen him in my stream and see him in my comment section and I'm talking crazy to him, that's because I don't fuck with him, and I told him that. So he's gone out of his way to disrespect me publicly twice this year, twice in 1 year, after we've already had conversations about it. So it's like, what even is your prerogative at this point? What is your purpose? What are you meaning to do? You keep saying that you want to work with me. You keep saying you want to, whether it's partner up or get me to associate with other women. Because I told this boy, hold on. I told him in the beginning that it wasn't even personal. I was like, I'm not working with no men. I'm not doing it because I know how men work. I know how they operate. I ain't finna deal with y'all. I'm just not finna do it. The only men I'm willing to deal with is my family members. If you ain't related to me, I ain't got no reason to talk to you. I just don't, because men don't take things seriously in the context of the way that I deal with things. Of course, Not all men. I've had too many experiences to bet on the 10% of men that can get tasks accomplished. I have my customers that are cool. They haven't expressed the whether the ability, capability, knowledge, or materials or resources to be able to work with me, so they're my customers, and I don't mind having conversations with them based on my educational tools and resources of what it is I provide. Outside of that, folks talk about they want to build with me. No, nope. But you gonna build with me. So I told Sage months ago, I was like, okay, you talking about me working with women. You said that there's some women that you feel like would work very well with me. We're very powerful and we have these great gifts and talents and all this stuff where we should come together as women. I said, okay, cool, send them my way. I got a private equity and research firm and we're writing essays all as goddesses and we're doing these projects together and I'm producing it in a blog so everyone will be able to learn from what it is we're talking about. And then they have another platform to share their platform. So me using my platform, I'm able to showcase their platform. So it's a reciprocating sort of relationship. They can make side income from what it is that I'm doing. And then people can go from that space, go to their platform and buy other things directly from them, whether it's services or items that they have to offer individually outside of essays. I explained that thoroughly to him. He never sent no women my way directly. He put us all in this Discord server. And I was like, bruh, before I left, I reiterated that statement. Then I left the group chat. Because what are you doing? Just send them my link. I literally sent him the link. Tell them what this is. Have them read it. You read it to them. And then that's that. Whatever they're talented in, we all can write essays about it. And then they can make content from their essays. Because this is how things work. When you're a content creator, you can write scripts for your videos. Whether you're writing prompts of things you're going to talk about in general and just, freeball it. But sometimes people do have actual scripts that they read line for line in their video and they just edit it to make it look like they're not reading a script. That's what the essays are. So people can purchase the written format and then we as authors can use the written format for our content. It gives us unlimited content. It helps us to think. So we're serving a purpose education wise. We can present the essays to colleges. I already have. Present the essays to colleges, present the essays to politicians, present the essays to individuals who are high corporate individuals to share with those who are part of Black America in their companies. That part I'm already handling. I'm already sending emails and making phone calls and meeting with people in person. I got that part. I just want all the ladies to focus on their content and their personal platforms. I said this to him. So he gonna go on his platform and disrespect me again. Talking about what am I doing for women, what am I doing for the community, when I just invited everybody to go to a community event. It was a community building event curated for Black people to be able to excel in life in a different way than the traditional trajectory of go to school, go to college, get a degree, and try to go to corporate America. It was more geared to blue collar. A lot of people in the spiritual community and blue collar work anyway. So what's even the deal here? When you said how long did it take? Are you talking about the stitches that I did? Then you said he'd be in the comments. Hi, he do be in the comments. And I told him in the DM, I was like, I'm not cool with you. I don't want. I've had to tell him to stop commenting on my stuff. I told him when he was watching my Instagram story, I was like, I'm not cool with you. You can unfollow me. Because here's the thing. I don't like to talk bad about people because I don't know them personally. But this is what I notice about people who aren't because this is what he went live about. He went live and he said that I was telling people that he was crazy. I was talking shit about him and all this other stuff. I didn't say that. I had one conversation with one individual who's a grown man. and he was giving him some advice on being a man, and he was trying to offer him some help. That was our conversation. Outside of me letting it be known, I was trying to help him as a spiritual content creator. I'm over here monetized and finna retire this page right here. I'm good. You know, he's trying to come up. I already came up. It's not about numbers for me. It's about impact. Niggas know me. It don't matter how many followers or subscribers I got. I know the impact I have made on this community. So that's what he was accusing me of. Saying I was calling him crazy and saying I was talking shit about him to a whole bunch of people. So then after we talked, he went around asking folks, and he apologized to me, was like, oh, well, it turns out you actually weren't talking about me. You did only have that one conversation with that one person, and it was supposed to be constructive criticism. And I'm like, all you had to do, if you had a problem, all you had to do was ask me. Because I told him. If I hadn't told him that me and that person had a conversation, he wouldn't have even known. So had it me telling you that I had a conversation about you with another person turn into I'm talking shit about you and calling you crazy to people? You see the comments? I've had people who see your comments and be like, who the fuck is that? And I'll be like, yeah, that's, one of the dudes in the spiritual community. He be on his stuff sometimes, but it's like, whatever. That's not me talking shit, and that's not me going out of my way to talk about you. People are looking at your behavior and talking about your behavior, nigga. So, with that being said, I don't like to talk about people for that reason. I don't like to talk about people and their mental capacity. This is the type of person who has multiple accounts and who watches my account from multiple accounts. I do that sometimes. If I'm on multiple accounts and I really like somebody's content, I'll watch and engage with their content with both of my accounts sometimes. Not to say that that's an issue. What I'm saying is, people like to really quickly be like, oh, well, just block them. Even if I was to block them, they got multiple accounts. They be on multiple of my platforms. It's not just Instagram. They be, here on my YouTube as well. And then it's like wherever else I'll be at, they'll make an account and engage there. Because that's what they have time to do. There's only so far that blocking an account will go. If an individual is not getting the message, they will go to any links to engage with the person. I've told them multiple times, you can go ahead and unfollow me. I'm not cool with you. I don't like you. You're not my friend. You're not my brother. I do not claim you. You still follow me to this day. So that's the most recent example. And I'm only speaking on it because he made it so public. He didn't have to do that. All he had to do was call me and express how he felt. And I could have been like, I see your perspective. And I would have dealt with it in that sort of way. Doing a whole live stream and talking about me to other people. That's what that is, Sage. And you don't want to admit that. It's called projection. And you admitted to your crimes by doing all that. I would never go out of my way to make a video dedicated to you. You just happen to be mentioned in this one. Since you want clout so bad. Now. Period. Now, with the more legal stuff, right? The only reason I don't talk about this too much is because, of course, legal. And I don't want to beat on a dead horse more than I need to. The people who used to follow Rashad Jamal and everything are weird. I can't sit up here and say that 100% of the people who subscribed and followed him at a period of time are all off to an extent that it's unhealthy. But what I can say is that a good amount of individuals who were associated with the university and everything like that are not good people. They're just not. they are spiritual, but they're not good people. And that's one of the things that really baffled me, because I know how my karma is. I know how my karma is, but I guess it's because I'm Saturn ruled, being a Capricorn cusp. And I have to follow certain rules. I have to. If I don't, I get exposed real easy. I be getting in trouble for stuff I ain't even do. So let me do something. Let me actually do something. And I get in trouble for it. People be like, oh, Ellie, you're a goody two shoes. You're this and you're that. And, you can't, it's like, I'm not trying to appear to be a certain way. I just know how the universe treats me. The universe treats me how my mom used to treat me when I was a little kid. I had to act right, sit up straight. My mom treated me exactly how the universe treats me as an adult. I don't need my mom to do that type of stuff no more, because the universe treat me that way. Let me try to talk to a man that I know I'm not supposed to be talking to. My phone will cut off. That happened. All type of stuff be happening to me. Let me be on a fast. Now, fast or test is different. But if the universe really wants me to win, let me be on a fast. And I start trying to prepare some food that I know I'm not supposed to be eating. All of a sudden, my child will eat the food. And I'm like, dang, I was going to eat that, but I shouldn't have been eating it no way. Stuff like that. So, with the legalities of it all, I'm like, no one's trying to take accountability of what they've done. No one's trying to have any conversations. People want to go to court. That's the crazy part. I said, I'm going to take all these people to court for the things that they have done. And they don't see it as being serious. I don't know why they decided to come against myself and certain others that I have communicated with and talked to. However, I'm like, I don't care who else you done this to. You ain't finna get away with doing it to me. And then the whole situation with Zakia White, that's Rashad's wife. She was in my live stream earlier this year and was like, oh, you just want our money. Girl, y'all don't have shit that I want. I've seen on the inside. Y'all are toxic. You can pretend to have this super happy relationship all you want to. I digress. Anyway, talking about I just want their money. Okay, so Zakia, what is it then that you threatened to sue me? Then you called me another time, apologized about it later, and said it was just to silence me and you didn't want me to talk anymore. Why is that then? Because you could be, if I wanted your money, you threatened to sue me before I said I'm suing you. I am actually suing you as a retaliation for your threat to sue me on false allegations, right? Because at that point, I didn't want your money. I was trying to leave y'all alone. I really was. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to just leave the situation alone. I'm scared. I'm afraid. I don't show fear, but I left the situation alone because I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is beyond a court case at this point. I have no idea what's happening. So, how is it that I want your money if I'm responding based on your behavior towards me? And also, how does it make sense? Explain to me how it makes sense that a person who was actually being quiet was threatened to be sued with defamation of character, libel, and slander when there was nothing being said to defame the character of said individual. However, the individual that actually did make certain statements that made it to court that you are claiming are lies is not being sued for defamation of character, libel, and slander, because aren't their statements the ones that actually landed him in jail? Is it that defamation? Is it that slander? I don't see her getting a lawsuit. But I want your money though. I have been gave my thoughts and opinions and strategies for how to get out of their situation. They don't want to get out of their situation. It's hard to explain. I talked to multiple people who have actual resources to be able to help them with their situation, and they don't want to. That whole free him movement, it's not real. It's this is going to sound harsh, but I'm being as transparent as I possibly can. It's a gimmick. That man could have been free a while ago. But this is profitable. That entire situation is a gimmick. Many of us have had real solutions for the situation, and we all get rejected and threatened. I'm just the only one speaking on it, at least in this sort of capacity, and taking legal action because other people who tried to help, they weren't attacked. I was actually attacked. Her association with Rod Hayes and that whole situation being set up for me to be assaulted. That, no, I have to sue all of y'all. I have to. Because what the heck was that about? Y'all want me to forgive and act as if... Somebody messaged me on Facebook a little while ago. And they were like, oh, Rod Hayes isn't a monster or something like that. I forgot the exact words they used. And they were like, everyone deserves forgiveness and everything like that. I'm like, cool, I'm going to screenshot your ass. Because I don't know who you are, where you came from, or why you're trying to convince me that my assault doesn't mean anything. That is a grown man with grandchildren. He knew what he was doing. What do you mean? Stop trying to give grace to people who don't deserve it. And then stop victim blaming. And stop trying to gaslight victims into thinking that they need to forgive people in a certain capacity. All is forgiven. My heart chakra clear. I'm still going to pursue what I need to pursue for you villains to learn your lesson. Because you're villains. You're fucking villains. What type of shit is that? Why do you want me to forgive somebody who's murdered people and assaulted other people? I only need to sue them based on assaulting me, but they have so many other skeletons in their closet, literally. It's like, you don't want, like, y'all don't like actual justice. This too. A lot of people who were on the free RJ train, they're the same people who say things like, oh, free this rapper, free my homie, when they know they're guilty. They just want them free. They don't actually want justice to be served. They just want that person free for whatever personal reason that they may have. It has nothing to do with the unfairness and treatment of black men. It has nothing to do with that. They just don't want black men to face accountability for their actions. I did not know that. I'm telling you, I can see into the future, but if I had known all this, I can't. This is the reason why I wasn't able to see it. Because if I had known all this was going to happen, I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I learned throughout the journey. Because I wouldn't have done it. I ain't gonna lie. It's like I saw certain things that did transpire and for future references and stuff. So it's like, I'm grateful for those positive things to have happened. I did not see the bad stuff. This bad stuff that happened, I did not foresee this. This was hidden from me. And I don't get it. I don't get what anyone gets out of this situation. And that's how most of the spiritual community is. That's how most of the black community is. A lot of the spiritual community with black people are a bunch of unhealed black people who left religion to find another way to be toxic. Because religion is toxic in itself. Having a relationship with God is not toxic. Religion and the way that religious organizations operate is toxic. Comprehend and understand the difference. Then getting into spirituality, bringing your relationship with God into a space where It just looks a little bit different from religion, but still performing the same sorts of activities. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for any of that. Me personally, I do not. When said I got multiple accounts. Yeah, like a lot of us have multiple accounts. It don't mean we're being weird on them, but it's people who are weird and they have multiple accounts and they like do things to be devious towards others. People are trying to accuse me of doing that type of stuff. I'm like, I'm not trying to be devious and have some sort of weird end goal towards you just because I have multiple accounts. I just have them. But let me see. Yeah, that's the legal stuff. And recently on my Instagram, I'm over here talking about something totally different from anything that has to do with Rashad Jamal. And somebody got in my comments asking about him. I'm like, this is so annoying. This has nothing to do with this man. And I have already made it clear multiple times I'm not fucking with that situation. I'm suing his wife and I'm suing a bunch of people who were within that situation in that space. But as far as speaking on his freedom, he don't want freedom. He doesn't. And he even made a post saying that. Or it was posted by his team. What do you want me to do? He said let him suffer. I'm not finna keep trying with somebody who don't want help. And why are you commenting? It's like when if people send me a DM, you know, I'll answer respectfully and be like, yeah, I don't associate with those people anymore. I don't associate with that situation anymore. I'm suing a lot of people from that party. But to comment on a post that has nothing to do with that man, I'm literally talking about a naked photo that I posted of myself and responding to people with video responses. And they commented under that. I'm over here talking about body positivity. Y'all can see in the thumbnail of this stream. I'm talking about body positivity, insecurities people may have, the natural body, not getting surgeries, things of that nature, like having an actual natural body. That's the post that I'm making response videos to, and they decide to comment on one of those and like, yeah, we see you're getting beautiful, but what about Rashad? I can't with you people. Oh my God, y'all are so irritating. And it's like you don't even know how irritating you are. When I made those posts and I posted those pictures, I lost like 100 followers that day. I'm glad. Because I don't like dealing with you. That's what I mean about the whole clout thing. People be so tied up in clout and numbers on a screen. When I lose followers, I make more money. I don't know what it is. It's a weird math that doesn't add up to what people would logically think it would mean to have a platform and have clout and stuff. I don't care. When I post certain things and they're very polarizing and I lose a significant amount of followers, I make more money. I'd rather get all the way back down to 1,000 followers and have $1 million on my bank account before I care about having almost 10,000 followers and not having the shit that I want to have. The fuck? I still not made a large impact on a lot of people. The amount of numbers on a screen doesn't change the fact that I've impacted the people that I have touched and communicated with throughout the years. People can enjoy my content without following my pages directly. I'm aware of that. The only people who have to do that are the ones who get subscriptions and memberships because it's a payment. That's it. There's people who watch my content without following me, and that's fine. As long as they're getting the message and they're able to benefit from it. Because I still get paid regardless. That's the part that people don't get about social media and clout. Having followers don't mean nothing. People watching your content is how you get paid. So the people who refuse to follow or they just happen to not follow, because there's some people who are like more popular that whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, I won't follow them, but I still watch their content and I'll still watch the ads. If you watch the ads on people's videos, on YouTube specifically, then they're able to generate revenue from that. I'll watch the ads and not skip them. I'll Make sure, of course, I like the video. Even if I'm not subscribed, I'll still boost them in the algorithm and make sure they get paid from my view of that video. But I may not subscribe because I don't want to watch their content all the time, or I don't want to support them in that way, but I'll still boost them in the algorithm because I'm aware of how that works. I don't need followers and I don't need subscribers to get paid. It's a certain threshold, of course. You have to have a certain number to benefit from certain attributes or benefits from the platform itself. But even then, I have an online business. I sell things. I don't need the platform itself to make money. That's what people get confused about, clout versus like having a genuine audience. If people can buy from me, they real. If people want to actually work with me and do tasks with me, they're real. Having a number on a screen and a person who's just following to follow, they don't engage, that's not real. Roaster Ray said, Ellie, what's good? Peace. 100 already got this for sure. For sure. Now I'll wrap up in a minute. We've been going on for about an hour. But yeah, those are just a certain layer of that's a layer of the reasons that I'm leaving social media, and specifically this platform. I'm done with the spiritual community. This shit never made no sense. I'm like, yo, I didn't think people were this tweaked out. So I'm gonna go into what happened recently and my thumbnail for this video. It's also my profile picture on Instagram now. So if you go to the community tab, you'll be able to see the full photo. And then the second one, as I said, I do nude art, nude body art, and it's specifically photography of myself. I may get into, I'll show y'all some of the, I'll show y'all one of the pictures I drew recently, but I may get into things like sketching and painting of that. But as of right now, my body is perfect. I love my body. I got my little stomach chubs from giving birth. And then here's another thing. I lost a lot of weight during that whole debacle between all the spiritual community people and being at Rodney Hayes' house. And like, that man was on some shit starving me, like forcing me to eat fast food. I had money. I have a food stamp card. All I had to do was go to the grocery store so I could buy food for myself to cook. But the way that that house was, and the dynamic that, this is literally what happened. By the time I finally got to go to the grocery store, I had to leave the house because there was so much going on. So I left like not a full refrigerator or anything, but the food that I set for myself to eat for a good week or two, it was left in the refrigerator. I had to go. I wanted to eat the food that I wanted to eat. That man making me eat fast food every day. That's how crazy this shit was. I lost a whole lot of weight. And somebody let me know. They were like, you were really skinny back, you know, in this time period, and you gained a lot of weight. And I'm like, yeah, I did. I need my stomach chub back. I need my hips back. That man was like, and this is something that I want to add to the situation too. I'm pretty sure that man poisoned me. Like, I don't have, you know, all the, you know, evidence or proof and stuff like that, but once I go through whatever therapy I need to go through and I describe the experience to them, they'll be able to confirm whether or not I was poisoned. But I lost too much weight having my diet controlled like that. If I have my own means of providing for myself in some sort of way, I should be able to express that and not be suppressed in my own health. So me gaining weight is a big deal for me because I'm finally safe and I'm able to eat what I want to eat, and I can eat as healthy as I want to eat. One second, I'm gonna show y'all a picture. Whoops. Okay. I drew this flower. This was on December 14th. I drew this with my left hand. I've been doing left-handed art to activate different aspects of my creativity. I really like it. So for those who know about the Tantra Time Lords podcast, you can watch the podcast if you get a membership here on this channel. But if you want it to be a little bit cheaper, you can get a subscription on my Instagram. So we talk about Tantra and utilizing the sacral chakra. So I closed out the podcast and my creativity boosted a whole lot. So I'm back sketching. I'm back doing a whole lot more other things. And now that I'm going to be releasing my speaking platforms as far as video, it's going to affect my creativity in a different way. So, yes, I really like that's one of the pictures. I have drawn another one. And I'm excited for stuff like that for myself. That's the type of stuff that I like. Things for myself that I do for myself. I didn't draw this. Like I said, this was December 14th. That's like 2 weeks ago. I didn't draw this so I could post it. I'm not finna take a picture and put it on my platform. I'm not finna do that. That's not the reason I drew it. I drew it to express myself, to express my creativity, and to get something physical and beautiful out so I could see what it is that I'm harboring inside. Because I don't want to have pent up, built up creativity and energy that I can use in some sort of way. And even though this isn't quote unquote helping somebody, it's helping me. It's making me feel happy. And that's all I need to focus on right now. So that's the stuff we talk about in the Tantric Time Lords podcast. So y'all can definitely upgrade whatever. If you're following or subscribed, upgrade that. So then you'll be able to enjoy the podcast. And you get to see a lot of my cute pictures too. That's, that's an added plus. That's an added extra. Okay. So yeah. I did those photos and people lose their minds every time. But recently it was just kind of sad because it was like people making conspiracy theories about me, and like people were like, oh, her account got hacked. And I'm like, okay, my profile picture was essentially like, I basically did a replica of what my profile picture was already. And I'm like, how can you say my page got hacked when I'm doing the exact same thing that's in my profile picture? That doesn't make any sense. And it's like the negative comments will come from people who I just don't see on my platform often or at all. And then the people who unfollow, I don't even know who they are, because it's like the people who interact with my posts still interact with my posts. And it's like, well, it's basically a following cleanse. When I do stuff like that, it cleanses out those who don't need to follow me anyway. Now, I still have the men on my page who be like, I need you to be my wife, and all this other stuff that they be talking about. I still have those sometimes, but it's like, okay, yes, ma'am, yes. I still have those sometimes, but it doesn't happen as often as it used to. So I'm glad about that, because they make more sense now. It's a cultural art aspect of things rather than it just being 100% lustful. And that's what I was getting to the point of. It's like, this is art. This is body art. This is not me. It's like people even making the mistake of thinking I have an OnlyFans. It's like, I have said multiple times, I do not have an OnlyFans. I do not plan on getting an OnlyFans. I'm not making porn. I'm showcasing body art. It's very different. Very different. And I have a podcast. So I just look sexy while I'm doing the podcast. That's it. Let me see something. Okay. Roast and Rage with the Fire. Understood. I've been here for a good portion of the journey. You have, and I appreciate you a lot. Roast and Rage used to share my posts a whole lot. He would share a lot of people in the community before. Stuff just got weird. We had to stop sharing people's posts like that. It was just strange. Oh, Wen said it's been the profile picture. It was my profile picture for a literal year. Do you know how long I've been plotting? I literally was plotting for 12 months to do this again. I did not think people would try to make a conspiracy theory out of that. I knew there was going to be, Some haters. I knew that. But I did not think that people would try to be like, her account's hacked. This doesn't make sense. Why would she do this? What do you mean, why would I do this? I've been doing this. Twin Baby said, Ashe Goddess, I would love to collab with you. I make music for the divine people who understands real music. I appreciate you. I do have a video on my page. I'm being so transparent and honest. I am. You got to read the description box to do things like music collab with me. I can't do the general collabs anymore. Much gratitude for your offer and letting me know what it is that you do, and that's great. I have my stipulations and my requirements in my description box of the video that says I think it says leaving this channel, how to navigate this channel or something like that. But you have to go on the videos, not a live stream, but go on videos, the videos tab. That information will be in the description box of that video. I appreciate you greatly, but I need you to read that first before I'm not going to accept the offer. You have to come to me on my terms, okay? I love what you do, though. That's great. I love seeing stuff like that. You keep doing what you're doing. Roaster Ray said, let them know. Twin Baby said, it's sad us men don't know what divine feminine energy is. It's not just a man thing. I'm going to get into that more. But Roaster Ray said, 199, 100. With the, can I like it? Can I like it? I want to see if I can like it, too. I can like it. Yeah. I like that. Okay. All love, Goddess, you know that. Much gratitude. Much gratitude. Okay, can I pin it? I don't think I could pin it. Twin Baby said, Ashe, I most definitely understand. Facts. Facts. Gratitude for that. But once again, much gratitude, Roaster Rage. Hold on. So what was that other thing you said? Oh yeah. So what, it's not just dudes, there's some women haters. There's guys who are not in their godhood, and there's women who are not in their goddesshood. So it's not just men. And I appreciate your perspective as far as wanting to hold men accountable so that they don't tweak out and say things and do things like that anymore. But it's a lot of women who have insecurities about things too. I don't get it. It's like there will be a woman who will see myself, or they'll see an escort, they'll see a sex worker, they'll see an OnlyFans girl. Because there's no disrespect to the OnlyFans girls. I just don't want one. I don't want to do that type of work. I'd rather be a stripper than an OnlyFans girl, because it's like, that's entertainment versus just the sex part. I don't want to do just the sex part. I want to entertain. I want to, if anything, I'm going to educate. I'm going to be up on the stripper pole with some damn glasses on and like a tie with the anime schoolgirl outfit on. I'm going to be like, here, we're going to talk about Tantra, you guys. Like, this shit I already do, you know? So, I digress. They'll see us on platforms expressing our sensuality in a way of making profit, right? And they'll judge us. But they hoes. They be fucking niggas. Don't even have a connection with them or nothing. They just fuck them, have one night stands, they go to the club. Or the religious ones. They be dressed down. They be having all the head wraps and the long dresses. You can't see their ankles, but they getting them ankles pulled up to their shoulders though. They be sleeping with all the clergymen and all the religious men up in the organization and in the building that they supposed to be using for God's people and all that. They be hoes, and they be judging women like us. Not even the cool type of hoes. Like, you got like the cool type of hoes that be like, they have their friends with benefit situations, or the ones that be tricking on niggas and they give you a game on how to trick on niggas. Like, they be cool. But the ones that judge everybody, but they be hoes. That's why it be so funny and I can't take nobody serious. Because it be like, everybody be hypocritical at this point. Everybody. It don't make no type of sense. Don't make no type of sense. So yeah, people's perception, that was already a thing before social media, right? That was already a thing. But then people's perception of what social media is got even more skewed because of social media. And I'm like, I refuse to allow my brain to be affected by people here on these pages. So I'm just going to remove myself for a little while, be more centered and focused on myself, on my education. I'm going back to school. I'm doing a lot of things, and a lot of things have transpired, and it has altered my life decisions. And I'm happy about it. I'm very grateful for all the experiences that I've had that led me to this decision. I always wanted to go, honestly, I never bashed college, but it's like I know you don't need to have a college degree to be successful, and there are people with college degrees that are not successful in the things that they want to do in life. So I never bashed college. It's just I didn't go because what I originally wanted to go for, I realized I don't want to do that full time. I don't want to do that full time. If I'm going to get a whole bunch of scholarships or potentially get into debt or come out of pocket to pay for something, I want to make sure it's worth it. Them scholarships ain't no joke. Like, oh, it's free money. The fuck it ain't. No. You got to do a lot of work for those scholarships. Whether you're working with an organization that gives out scholarships or you're finding your own scholarships and you're doing the work you need to do, volunteer hours, writing essays, you're doing whatever, contacting of sorts, filling out information. Dude, we could fill out job applications at that point, just filling out job applications all day. That's what it is. That's a lot of work. So with that, I'm like, yeah, people's perspective is just too skewed for my liking. I don't like how people just say any and everything on the internet in people's comment sections. If you got a platform, you can say whatever you want to say on your platform. It is what it is. Like, people gonna follow you or they not. But then it'd be the people who get into people's comment sections. It's people who send other people death threats. It's all this other type of stuff that people be saying. I never received any death threats, but I have had somebody who I was supposed to be cool with, supposed to be building with, say that they hope I get raped. That was a woman. So again, going back to your point, it's not just men out here that's tweaked out, it's women. That was a married woman. She had no reason to feel jealous of me. She got her own family going on. She got 2 kids and a husband. But she worried about little old me. I'm a single mom at the time. What you hoping I get raped for? That's crazy. But that's why I'm suing. Because that's insane. That's literally insane to say to a person who didn't do anything to... I never did anything to that woman. Even the people that they accused me of doing stuff to, I never did anything to any of them. Even spiritually. It'd be like, oh, well, you attacked me here. I do self-defense work. So if I beat your ass because you came at me, that's not my fault. That's not my fault. My force field is that strong. Y'all remember on Wakanda where she designed the suit and he would absorb the telekinetic... Not telekinetic. It would absorb the kinetic energy, and then it would be that much more powerful as a rebuttal or as a defense move, as a defense mechanism. That's how my shit worked. My bad that you came at me first. The fuck you mean? So, yeah. Too much. I'm gonna remove that part of my life for a good while. And then come back in a different way, in a different fashion, a different form. That's simply it. And I'm grateful for the journey, grateful for the individuals who have made a positive impact on me, grateful for the people I was able to make a positive impact on. And I can just leave it there. If anyone wants to contact me, y'all can find all the information that you need in my description area. Go to my websites. I have communities there. Like, I'm still available to talk to. I'm just not going to be on these bigger platforms. Where I have clout. You can still contact me if you want to be cool with me, if you want to work with me as far as being a student of mine. Yeah, stuff like that. Being part of my community as far as learning about real estate. If you're a homeschool person, if you were homeschooled yourself, or you want to homeschool your children, if you're an off-gridder, if you're a gardener, if you're a farmer, things of that nature. It's just like, just real stuff. I don't need none of that spiritual woo-woo and we just cosmic and everything like that. We like, the ethers are cool. The ethers are cool. But we need some groundedness, okay? We need some Gaia. We need some Tierra. We need some Earth, okay? We don't need all that just, oh, I'm astral projecting. Who gives a damn? You know what I did when I was astral projecting? I found out how the money system works and that commerce is run through underground and underwater ocean fields. And then they came out with the fact that that aliens in the ocean exists. They publicized that after I made my discovery. That's what I do on my astral projections. Y'all don't be doing shit. Not the rainicorns. But the mother niggas that just be talking, they don't be doing nothing. I don't got time for it. Y'all be astral projecting so you can see naked women. That's such a waste of your power. Anyway, let me see what else. I think that's it. Because I'm finna go. I want to say everything I want to say, and then I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna really be gone. So I want to make sure I get everything out that I want to say. Yeah, that's it. And then y'all see, I'm gonna be looking good all year, and won't nobody see it. I think that's funny. I'm gonna be outside making money. That's what I'm be doing. I don't know. I make way more money outside physically than I do online. That's the gag. Like, people be tripping. Oh, you got all that clout. You got all this money. I don't get my fucking money from these platforms, nigga. I get my ass outside and I make way more money. So no, I don't even want to hear that. Okay. Twin Baby said I got a question, Goddess, but all the type of work is lustful. All that type of work is lustful and Lilith energy. Females who indulge in that lifestyle can't seem to realize that's not love. That they don't do it for love. Jay Kuji said goodbye, Babyface Wazowski. I'm done, bro. You are hilarious. Win Warman said thank you, Ellie. Much gratitude to you as well, Win. So here's the thing. Lilith is an entity. That's for one. And there are individuals who can work with Lilith in a certain type of way. So, of course, no. You can show me later. You see me on a stream. That's cool. He got a new Lego set for Christmas. So, he's trying to show me one of his creations. But he know I'm busy right now. Lilith is an entity that can be worked with in certain ways. And then, also, here's the thing. Sex work. I'm glad you brought this up. Because I didn't mention this on the Tantric Time Lords podcast. But I think if I reboot it in a certain type of way, I might talk about sex workers. But here's the thing about sex work and spirituality. I'll go in this direction first. There are a lot of spies who are sex workers. So if one of the goddesses is a sex worker and then she goes into a different environment as an escort or as a prostitute, and then she is able to extract information and bring it back to her source of who she needs to go to bring information for liberation of whatever people, that's a positive work, isn't it? Okay. And then you have the males who, because we're talking about women, you have the males who go out of their way to do things like subscribe to OnlyFans. They go to strip clubs. They are pimps. They cheat on their wives in so many different ways and lie to them. Instead of practicing righteous polygamy or polygyny, they instead feed into their lustful indulgence of energies and the way that they are as far as their shadow self. So women take advantage of it and then they transmute it. A lot of sex workers and those who work with Lilith do a lot for women and children. You'd be surprised how many individuals are donating to women who are in homeless shelters, donating to women who are victims of whether it's foster care, the foster care system, the unfairness of the foster care system. It's like judging the woman based off of her actions in that sort of way without knowing the reason she's doing it is exactly why the cycles keep happening. Because if men did not indulge in their shadow side, there would be no industry. That is a multi-billion-dollar industry, way more than that, if I'm being honest. Because then you have things like the dark web and you have the underground black market system. If men didn't have an appetite to cheat and be lustful themselves, women wouldn't have an audience to cater to. If men use their sacral chakra, subscribe to the Tantra Time Lords podcast to be able to do that properly. If men utilize their sacral chakra properly and they kept their dick within their marriages, their relationships, and whoever they have as a consort, a concubine, a wife, a secondary wife, a primary wife, a business partnership, spouse, whatever, if they kept their sacral chakra in their business instead of going out of their way to go be with other women, whether digitally, physically, or entertainment wise, there would be no industry and everybody would be way more productive. Everyone. So that's my response to that. There are some women who aren't necessarily doing it for the righteous reasons that I mentioned. That's on them. That's their business. At the end of the day, they would not have a customer if the man didn't behave the way that he did. No one's forcing them to subscribe to OnlyFans. No one's forcing them to drive to the strip club. No one's forcing them to have sugar babies. That's what they're choosing to do. So we as women can take advantage of it. If he's going to cheat on his wife, why not put a spell on him? He shouldn't be doing that anyway. That's the one commandment that people in the church love to ignore. Don't commit adultery. Most of them do it. Or at least have done it. So, yeah. I'll let MJ know you said hey. But yes, very true. It is. But okay, that was a very interesting point. Glad you were intrigued and asked that question, because a lot of people do get confused by that. It's like, how are you spiritual, and are you a stripper, and you have an OnlyFans, stuff like that. Indulging in the sacral chakra is a different sort of space and arena. That's why the whole Diddy situation is happening. That's why the whole Drake situation is happening. That's like Harvey Weinstein, all the people in Hollywood and mainstream music and entertainment. That is the sacral chakra industry. That is the sex industry. It is. It's creativity, and then they use sex a lot. That's what they're not going to tell the people. That's why these cases get so complicated and they are prolonged for so long. So, but okay, if that's it and that's all, once again, I want to say much gratitude. First of all, much gratitude to Wayne Wortman for being a trillionaire entity. If you guys want a membership, y'all can get it. I will not be here on the channel, but you can still watch the content that is available for those with a membership. And then gratitude again to Roast and Rage for the $1.99, saying all love, goddess, you know that for sure. For sure. But okay, goodbye, and I will see you somewhere else. I will not see you here again. I will see you somewhere else.